welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie Gretel and Hansel. It is based on the classic Brothers Grimm fairy tale, but with a twist and more focus on Gretel. Hence the name swap and the title. If you live under a rock and haven't heard the classic fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel, well, here it goes. Both Hansel and Gretel are sent into the woods by their parents, and they encounter a witch in a cabin made of gingerbread. The witch tries to eat them, but instead they push the witch into an oven, burning her, and they live happily ever after. But in this new take of the story for this movie, it tries to make a darker and grittier take on the story and focuses on the witchcraft and, of course, Gretel. Here's the thing about this movie that I really appreciated. The dark, macabre, scenic, and cinematography shots used to instill the sense of dread throughout the movie, and it did really fantastic at that aspect. The visual imagery in this movie is just really the stuff of nightmares. I mean, it's hard to unsee what I saw. It's not a jump scare movie that one would expect. I would say more if it's of a atmospheric and disturbing movie, like the movie The Witch, for instance, that released a few years ago. This movie is unnerving at best. However, I did have some issues with this movie. For starters, the soundtrack isn't very fitting for this movie one bit. For example, there's 80s synthwave music in this movie that really takes the immersion out for me. It just simply didn't belong in this type of movie. And also, I really wasn't fascinated by the script and dialogue, which seemed too bare bones for my taste. As far as acting goes, Sophia Lillis does a great job playing as Gretel, and I hope I'm saying this right. Krige is amazing as the witch. Unfortunately, Hansel's character is more or less shoved off to the sideline of the movie, and I just wish they did more with this character, but oh well. And also, for what feels like an independent film, it's actually not that bad. I'm just not a fan of the aspect ratio of the movie that it was filmed in. And the composition of the majority of the shots were too centered. When I watch a movie, I want my eyes to watch and wonder about the whole screen with unique composition, like with the angles and everything. And the movie just doesn't do much in that department. I mean, overall, it's not one of the best movies, and it's not the worst I've seen. It can be entertaining when it needs to be. There is a lot that could be improved in this movie, however. I give this movie a C. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.